Alrighty, ladies and gents, welcome. Hope you're all refreshed after the weekend. Hope we all had a very good weekend. Last day of the trading month, first day of the new trading week. Let's see what we can come up with. As always, guys, good morning, good afternoon, very good evening, wherever you are around the world. Hope you're all doing well. Welcome. So as I mentioned before, last day of the month, looking forward to ending what has been a very good month in the end, very good comeback after what was a quiet start to the month, with actually 4 starts from a month, bad month for a start I've had for the year, to be honest, but really solid comeback in the second half of the month. So yeah, we'll see what we can come up with moving forward today. Obviously GJ is trending and is moving. These candles have a lot of volume. I just observing before the start of the stream, these candles all got around 30 plus 40 pip volume, so a little bit of an issue with that, and that is stop loss, but nonetheless we are looking for potential GJ sells at this rate moving forward. Let's have a look at what we've got as far as news. There is some yellow folder news to come shortly for the pound with GDP. I would have thought that'd be a little bit more than just a yellow folder news event. I'm sure maybe financial juice might come up as maybe even red folder. We'll quickly look at that. So it's something that we probably need to be a little bit wary of before we just blindly enter a trade. Yeah, so we've got GBPcad to come, so we have to wait a little bit, guys. But nonetheless, without further ado, what we can do is we can do the analysis, and what you guys can do is you can hit the like button for me, and also make sure to say g'day. Let's get this chat pumping so we get more on stream. One way you guys can help me out is just by hitting the like button and also saying g'day in the chat, getting this chat moving along a bit. So like I mentioned, YouTube recognizes my content in something that people find interesting. So without further ado, guys, let's have a look, and let's start with a GJ with just over 12, just under 13 minutes left of the current M30/hourly to EU Open, I should say. So now looking at GJ, so off the back of that, yep, the news, sorry, I forgot to kill the news before. All good, should be better now. Thank you for the quick update, Carl. Off the back of the news event, so which coming out of Japan on Friday with the change in leadership to Japan, obviously that sent some strength into the yen, and obviously the pound against the yen ended up closing back below this weekly resistance, leaving a long week to the upside. It's based off that, what I did mention in the members group in the Sunday webinar, we potential area we could pull back to, well, there was 2 levels. One of them was around the open. Usually when I see a candle closing like so, the long wick to the upside, closing near its low, back below resistance, a lot of time the new upper wick won't go much deeper than the open of that previous candle. So pretty much as to where we've pulled back to. There was a level in between I mentioned for the members, which it literally has rejected, so interesting to see that too. But we are bearish based off the weekly at a resistance. Clean traffic to the left, looking at the daily, and bearish in structure as well on the daily. We remain bearish from this impulse from 200, a drop down to the lows at 180. Big bearish engulfing count at previous daily candle. We've since broken the low of it, and so we are bearish. Counter probabilities to the downside. Onto the 4-hour structure, we did put that as well on Friday, so bias is definitely going to be to the downside. Just marking the level we are currently breaking. We're marking a level to the downside. We've got resistance in the current daily candle at the current daily candle's high. What sort of catalyst may we have for a potential buy bubble? Let's go on to the 30-minute time frame and just have a little look. Well, right now, what I'm more inclined to do is I'm going to draw in another zone. I'm drawing a zone just here. For the time being, that's where the 30-minute structural flip. That's for the time being. But in the next 10 minutes, we do close below this support, create a lower low. And at that point there, the area as to where the 30-minute structural flip back bullish is this point here. At that point there, I could potentially look for a buy above. That is to be the case. That could be my catalyst to start anticipating that we may pull back a little bit further, or my first catalyst to suggest that maybe we can get a buy against what is a very strong downtrend at the moment. So that is the buy option. Now, being it's a Monday, guys, being the bias is bearish across the board, I would prefer to sell it. Now, obviously, the music's still too loud. I'll turn it down. Wow. Alright, well hopefully it's a bit better now. So obviously below this support, we've just broken it. We don't quite have a catalyst personally for me. We didn't close below the bodies and the catalyst to the left. 15-minute was not a bad option, but the issue is stop loss. So what we need to see is, first of all, I want to see, make sure that we close below the M30. A little bit late to it if you're trying to get in just now. And if that is to be the case, stop loss may have to be just above the 15-minute. Have we retested? Not quite. Not even on the 5-minute just yet. However, we are trending, guys. So in this situation, we are trending. We do have some clean traffic to the left. As long as we create an upper wick on the new candle, if, for instance, the stop loss is going to be a little bit too wide based off even 15, I may use the new candle's upper wick to look for a potential. It's still too loud. Got it rock bottom. I don't know what's wrong with it today. We could use the entry candle as a potential, should be better now, as a potential stop loss, guys. So it is just melting out, but there is just too much volume in these candles and the stop loss is way too wide. Unless you have a sell stop and you're just trusting it to continue, why stop loss? I mean, that makes sense. It's up to you if that's, you know, you trust that sort of entry. But yeah, that's what I'll be waiting for. So I'm waiting for the sells below. Definitely looking for the option to sell it below what was the previous daily candles low. Even if it does make a clear move now, fall back only to reject, then I'm obviously going to be looking for the sells from that point there. Further sells from the resistance. If we do pull back to retest the last significant lower high on the M30, only to reject it. And obviously I'm going to be looking for the sells from a little bit higher up. Alright, if that doesn't fix the music, then I have no idea what I've done today. I've not touched a thing, but for some reason it seems to be very loud. Yeah, so that's GJ, guys. Anyway, hopefully that makes sense. Someone just confirmed the music's a little bit better now. Now I'll move on to have a look at gold. Alright, so looking at gold, and based off the previous weekly, it did close back a strong bullish candle. Dude, if you're in doubt, you can use, now it's better. Okay, you can use the 50% off the fib, but it's closed above it, so we can see. So that would therefore make me consider it a strong bullish candle. Looking at daily, structure is bullish, but what we do have is that previous daily closing bearish. So let's just mark in the low of it, see what we've got below it. So we are bullish in structure, but with the daily candle to the downside, we've got an upper wick and a lower wick in the current daily candle. Let's see what's below the previous daily candle's low and the current daily candle's, actually no, I'm not going to bother the current daily candle's high. Onto the 4-hour time frame. Now, have we flipped structure? We have created a high just there. We've flipped the structure bearish on the 4-hour. So off the back of that candle that closed back bearish on Friday, we've flipped the 4-hour structure bearish. So we've got the weekly is bullish, daily is bullish with candle probabilities to the downside. 4-hour structure is bearish. Now let's look at the 30-minute. This could decide which direction we could be trading in. And the 30-minute is also bearish. So right now we've got a neutral bias, guys. So gold has options in either direction. As per the way I trade on Monday, I prefer to trade in line with the strength of the bias and the previous weekly candle. However, seeing the bias is neutral, I'm willing to buy or sell it. Just waiting now, just need to determine what I want to see and at what level. So seeing we're making a bit of a move up just now. I did mention to the VIP gold looked okay, but I had no upper wick, otherwise I would have considered taking a buy. Wasn't going to chase it just now. So what I'm likely going to be waiting for is, I don't know, it's a trickle right now. It's just not convincing on the move to the upside. Maybe it's off the back of that sell-off on Friday and the fact that the minor time frame, 30-minute and the 4-hour time frame is technically bearish. So right now what I want to see is price potentially come back up towards this 26.65. Look for my signs of rejection for a potential sell. Once I get the right sort of catalyst to do so, I'll be looking for a sell from the high. Now on the flip side, we do just melt. Not going to be easy selling it from the current level. Don't really have any areas to do so. You're running straight into consolidation on the 15. So that's to be the case. probably just wait for it to come back down. Maybe this support, and we've just recently formed support around that 26.52, around the Asian session support. We'll consider a buy from there. However, preference doesn't have to do this, but if it did, be fantastic. Pop down to the low of the 4-hour range, and then we're just looking to trade the range, guys. So if that was to be the case, buys from lower down. Obviously, I'd be looking for sells away once we begin to pop below the range. Got some clean traffic to the left. I'd definitely consider the sells now. Probably better below the support, just a little bit lower down. The sells below 26.42.50. Otherwise, probably prefer the buy it did pop back down. Very easy on gold at the moment. Just need, it's right in the middle. Need to wait for it to make a bit of a move. I would like to see it grab some more liquidity from the upside, reject for a potential sell. That's probably the closest to an entry at the moment on gold. To be honest, I'm not really liking the look of gold right now. I think GJ is going to be the focus. Let's look at 15. And still got just under 4 minutes left, and this thing looks like it wants to continue to the downside. Definitely not entering nothing now. Just gotta focus on what the lowest point in this candle will be, whether it's worth trying to get involved or not on the following candle, because you're gonna have a very wide stop loss. Something you need to consider, because it doesn't mean that it's gonna make the move. You got the right colors, you still need to tick the boxes. So at this rate, it's likely going to depend on the upper wick forming on the new candle and how deep that upper wick is. I want it to leave a lower wick as well, and obviously in the next 3 and a bit minutes, we don't want it to continue to melt. Otherwise, it's just not going to too late to the party. Let me look at something in 5 minutes. No, you'd have to be in by now. May have a 5-minute entry, but should have been in already. It may still reset. In the meantime, guys, I will have a look at GCAD moving forward. Let's just focus on GJ though and see if we've got an option to get involved in GJ selling their next candle. In the meantime, guys, let me say good day to everyone. Franco, good morning to you. Carl F, Tony Gold, good day to you. Bartman and Joel. All right, cheers, guys. Thanks for that. Welcome. Everyone also in the chat, feel free to say good day. But the focus is GJ. We're looking at GJ sells potentially on the next candle. Members, I will drop you the link. There you go. Batman, give a like, guys. That'd be much appreciated. So the good thing is we still have margin. We still do have margin on GJ. So off the back of the momentum to the downside, and we have a lower low, lower high in the daily. Again, as long as we have a decent upper wick, I would still trust it to take a sell. So just what I suggest is focus on whatever the lowest point of this M30 is on your broker, and just you're gonna be looking for an upper wick to form, like I mentioned, a decent upper wick, and then look to sell as it breaks the low of the catalyst candle, which is the one printing just now. And these are huge candles on GJ, so it's dangerous. I suggest wider stop loss, smaller position. It's a Monday as well, and it's the last day of the trading month. Let's quickly look at the monthly. Got just under a minute. So it's looking like it's going to close bearish, has a higher high, higher low to the previous. All right. Not going to really influence my decision just now though, either way. So for me, for those who use IC markets, I'd be looking at potential entry 189,675. This current candle, if this is to be the lowest point of it, which is 693 on IC markets. So I'll be looking around 675. Need an upper wick and a significant one. Otherwise, if it's off the 15, you're looking about 40 pip stop loss. You can roll with that, but again, just lower the lot size. All right, got the hourly closure as well. Oh, set nothing. It needs to pull back to create the upper wick. Sticking to my rules, guys. If you guys want to enter, up to you. I'm not entering just yet. Nice closure in the alley. Now, where could we potentially pull back to? 2% is going to be a little bit too deep, I feel. Let's measure this properly. I'd say to 0.236. Around that 855, that's a steep upper wick. Look, if you guys want to enter just now, it would be a valid entry. Wider stop loss, and you'd have to manage it, honestly. So you could be in a trade just now, but I would have preferred for it to pull back a little bit deeper, if I'm to be honest. Just a minute and a bit in to the hourly as well. We appear to have died. It's just not as stuck. So I'd wait for it to create a little bit more of an upper wick. If you want to take a small entry, it's totally up to you guys. I'm not entirely convinced this is the highest point of the new candle. So if this flips back one more time, it's a little bit more of an upper wick. Like I said, preferably tapping in towards that 860. Stop loss now. Probably not deep enough, considering that there's so much volume in these candles. It needs to pull back a bit further. All right, I'm going to set it with sell stop. So you're looking at the low, just below the low of the current candle. Trying to see markets. Trying to pull it up. Now the other option is a limit order back at 190 flat. And what that will do is that will give you a better stop loss based off the 30. We are trending, so they're the options. Option is for a sell below low and a limit order back at the zone. That's where you've got the other option. So limit order back at the zone. You're looking at I just put it 190 flat. It's just a little bit above it. It's like a half 8.8 above it. So I've got a limit order set at 190. No, it's broken a low, but we're not yet retested that zone. We are moving with momentum as well. We do have the volume, so taking it, well, placing the order in anticipation if we do pull back to retest that zone. High probability while we're trending that we could reject it, and that could lead to potential option to sell it. And if it does reject it, likely with the volume momentum, there's a good chance it will make that move back down. Now, the further option, as I mentioned, is just below the low, which will be about 650. It's 665, the low on IC markets. I set a order for 650. Ah, shit, it's gonna move my limit order. Okay. $650 is where I'm looking for the continuation sell. All right, so there are your options, guys. So I'm not in anything at the moment. I'm looking for the sells below the low at 650. And I'll use wherever the high of the current candle stop loss is. The high of the current candle, I'll use that as a stop loss. At the moment, I've got the order set. I've just got it above the 15, but I trade fixed lots. So what I'm going to do is, as soon as it begins to drop and it might get triggered in, I'm just going to adjust the stop loss straight away to just above the entry candle's high. And I've still got the limit order in. All right, so they're the options, guys. Not in anything just yet. Now, limit order is about to become invalid. If it does flip again, then I would just remove the limit order personally and focus on the continuation. Yeah, I'm likely going to remove it. Joel? Sorry, just delete it. All good. Joel rejecting. We'll have a look at GBCAD shortly, but let's just focus on GJ as we're looking for a potential entry. Alright, so I'm going to remove the limit order. Make sure I'm removing the right one. That's what I'm currently looking at. If 15 closes like this, perfect. Just adds confluence if it's a weak closure. If it's a stronger closure, I may need to remove the order and wait. Limit order is technically still valid based off a little pause play, the interruption play. Interesting to see here. Not quite, would just missed being tapped in. Yeah, I do see a potential for a limit order. It's actually, it should be maybe a tad higher up at low of that bullish candle, which is about 2 pips higher up. So this rate, I'm just gonna wait for the 15 closure. I mean, I've still got the order set. If it does flip now, I'm still gonna take it because I believe we do have the volume, we have the momentum. We've spent enough of this candle creating the upper wick, so potentially if we do reject now, likely grab just a bit more liquidity from the upside, or to continue to the downside with also clean traffic to the left. So I think there's still enough reason to keep the order in. The hourly as well, create a decent upper wick. We did pull back to that level I wanted to see price pull back to. We are now still hovering below it. It's actually more into you, mate. Weekend? All good, mate. All good. Enjoying the time with my little man, so. So what, kids aren't cheap, but he's worth it, of course. So let's see, are we going to get triggered in? So 6.5 is where I've got my entry set. 189.65. This candle closes as is, perfect, not a problem at all. Quickly look at gold. Still, yeah, gold's just consolidating. This is very similar on Friday, if I'm not mistaken. It had no clear direction. It was just a slow trickle, I think, to the upside as well that particular day. Alright, JJ. We wanted to close a bit weaker on the 15. I don't really want it to close with such strength. I want us to pull back a little bit. At the moment, it's printing a little bit too strong of a bullish candle for me to trust the continuation. So back just a bit more. All right, I'm gonna leave it in there. We begin the break though, the high. I feel there is a high probability that we will retest that zone. I may just remove the order and wait for it to the counts close. And I could be looking at a very similar scenario based off the 30. If the 30 closed weak bullish, what I have done or would have done is once again create another minor support below a higher time frame resistance. So therefore, we're either going to do one or two things. We're going to create a lower low and then end up pulling back up to potentially create a lower high, maybe rejecting this resistance or even popping back above it. Potentially. Or if it would create a weak bullish candle, create that little pause, so minor support below the previous high time frame resistance, then that will provide for a potential entry point if we do begin to reject or below it. When chuck to the left, there's a high probability it will continue to the downside. That is something we can look for. Now I've still got the order in. Have we broken? Haven't quite broken out of that previous candle. Keep it in for the time being, though, and we'll be removing it shortly. Around, g'day to you. Yeah, I got to sell a stop in at 650, 189, 650 at the moment. But like I mentioned just before, I may remove it shortly. So, nice one. Agent session, it's the time. It's 1 here, so I think it's the final hour, or it may have just. Still open. No, it's still in between the crossover. Flipping with a GCAD. Support. Yeah, there's nothing on GCAD at the moment, so we won't. Well, we'll just keep an eye on GJ still. Little man out for breakfast yesterday, and he was basically ordering just from the photos. And he ordered the most expensive thing on the menu. I knew he wouldn't eat it, so I didn't order anything, so I knew he wasn't gonna eat it. So I could just was wasting the cash. Mixed grill, he ate a tiny bit of it. Alright, GJ rejecting, let's see. So I wanted to trigger in pretty soon. I don't want to trigger in the last 2-3 minutes of the M30. At that point, if it's coming close to the closure of the M30, what I'd likely do is just wait, knowing that the other option is if it does actually close below, break below, make a bit of a move, I can always look for the limit order upon the pause play. So I'm going to set the rule just now. If it comes down to, let's just say the last, I'll go 2.5 minutes prior to entry and we're not triggered in, I'm just going to remove the order. So I've got pretty much right on 6 minutes for it to trigger me in. That's what I'll stick to. The rule I'll stick to at the moment. Once again, I'm still trusting up the alley if I get triggered in shortly. Clean traffic. Like I'm about to get triggered. Well, I'm about to. Yep, I'm in. Now I'm just going to adjust stop loss to right above the entry counter. So it's very small because we have volume. We've got a lot of volume on GJ right now. Straight back up, isn't it? Wow. Very tough one to manage when you got your stop loss based off the entry candle. Very difficult to manage. This volume is a little bit concerning. It is bopping about. All right, guys, let's see. Broken our own low again. All right, gonna go to break even. I'm just not, this volume is a little bit frightening, to be honest. I'm currently at break even. I mean, it's okay. And a new 15, so I don't need the move to happen just now. Otherwise, the new 15 is likely going to open up, create upward and take me out. Just the way I've chosen to manage it, because the volume is a bit crazy at the moment. Got initial push as a retook bar and gold. Okay. Looks like I might get taken out. Yeah, I'm about to get taken out. Yeah, I'm out. All right, all good. All good. Because now we're coming down to the closure of the M30 as well, guys. So it could leave that lower wick. What could happen is the new counter, there is a lot of volume. Could pull back to create the upper wick. I don't want to really be stuck in that, so it's just the way I've chosen to go about it. I had about 7 pip profit on the table, so I'm satisfied with that. It's okay. I had a fair bit of drawdown on the table as well, I'm not going to deny that, but break even, better than a loss. Gave it a go. So now basically need to wait for this M30 to close, and what I really want to see is it close strong bearish engulfing. Even though it's taking me out just now, then I'll potentially look for a limit order, but closes like this, I'm not touching it. I'm just gonna wait. So I've done full morning session on trade again, pre-1, nice one. Yeah, it was okay. Just using momentum and volume. So but I don't know, intuition is telling me maybe I should have cut it early, to be honest, in a bit of a loss. But intuition is telling me that was the right way to go about, just to get to break even. Because this, with the volume, could easily just pull back. We've still not yet retested that zone since we've broken it. Not even on the 5. Not at one point have we, since we've closed below it, we've not retested it at all. Gold, all right. Where's the margin on gold? A little bit very hard to trust at the moment, because look at this, it's just a slow trickle. It looked like at this point it was going to make the move up, and look what happened. End up pulling back again. I mean, even here you could have argued it looked like it was ready to head back up and not pulling back down again. Not entirely convinced. I kind of feel like it's probably best just to skip this move. One thing though you've got that liquidity grab to the downside. So you broke below the previous, you now almost engulfed it. You've closed above the high, so you've pretty much almost engulfed those 15-minute candles. Wow, let's see. High, 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 low. Into the resistance. 5 minutes closed above. I'm just trying to gather as much confidence as to trust the entry right now. I see it, but something's telling me to stay away from it. I'm gonna wait till the open. Just not convinced. To me, it's still consolidating, trending upwards, but consolidating on the whilst it's trending upwards, if that makes sense. So GJ now, for me to consider an entry would be London Open. What I probably need to see now is closure right near the low or engulfing without making the entire move. So we can tell the volume's there because look at that, we've opened with a gap on the new candle. See if we've got a gap on this provider on Forex.com. Alright, so let's analyze GCAD while we wait. We've got a bit of time, guys. So looking at the weekly, so GCAD, I think it was towards the end of the week, we flipped that candle back bullish only to close week bearish. But what that candle suggests to me is, I haven't really quite tapped into anything, but still suggests that this long wick and why it's closed so week bearish up near its high would suggest to me that maybe it's just grabbed some liquidity from the downside. Based off that, what I usually see follow, now it doesn't always happen, but quite often in a lot of cases you'll see it create a bit of a low wick, and if it begins to break above that previous candle's high, likely it's just grab liquidity from the downside. Now this candle generally, if it was to open up and create just a bit of an upper wick and begin to pull down, then maybe it suggests that we're going to head back down to fill that wick and fill that liquidity to the downside. As of now, it's very important if we need to, well, if it is to potentially head back down, what you want to see is price respect that previous candle's high. If it breaks it, that would, like I said, suggest that maybe we'll just grab that liquidity and we could be ready to make another clean impulse to the upside. Now, as far as targets, I'd be looking at the psychological round numbers. Got to go back a fair distance since we're last at these levels back in 2018. So week bearish, looking at daily, structure wise it's bullish, but we did close below that resistance and we now have a higher low on the current daily candle, but we're yet to break the high of the previous. So if we begin to break above the high, like I mentioned before, high probability, that's also breaking the previous weekly candle's high, that's high probability we will continue and create another impulse to the upside. Marking the current daily candle's low, and let's see if we have any sort of catalyst below it to maybe look for a sell, seeing we are at that resistance. 4 hour structure used to be bullish, not closed above that high. So 4 hour structure is going to be bullish at this rate really up until closures below the low here around that 178.80 roughly. But what we can see is, it doesn't mean just buy it because it's bullish, because what we can see is we're at resistance. So if we're at resistance, logic would say probably better to look for the sell unless price begins to break out of that range to the upside. Definitely going to be buy options, as I mentioned. There's going to be something to consider. Buys above. Now let's mark in the support just a little bit lower down as well, and let's go on to the 30 minutes. So bias is definitely bullish. 30-minute structure, well, we've got some catalyst here, still bullish, just going to drag that down. What we can see is though, we will have a catalyst to sell it below that level there. Structure would have flipped bearish. Not only that, we've got some relatively clean traffic to the downside. Not only that, we're rejecting in a higher time frame resistance if that's the case, and there is a probability that we could make a deeper correction. Now the issue is we've got support here around that 180.30. That could be the level that price pulls back to. Still not a massive pullback in the previous weekly candle, and if we were to form support at that level there, seeing the bias is still technically bullish, I would definitely consider buying it, irrespective of the 30-minute structure flipping bearish. I would definitely consider buying it. So that would be my options on GCAD. Right now it's looking quite messy. Just tapped into the Asian session lows, the support, and is bouncing off it. You probably just adjust this, just use the high. That's your current range, it's just consolidating. So I'd be waiting for either price to come up and break above, or look for the sells on your catalyst of closure below, flipping a structure below at 180.60 roughly, and buys from lower down. That is GCAD. So I think really good management of GJ in there. And had I kept the stop loss in, I'd probably be about to be taken out had I kept it in. So I'm pretty happy with getting out, break even. Rick, good morning to you, mate. Hope you're well. Welcome. And also happy to stay. I just did not trust gold from experience. Just remove these. Going to be interesting to see if we do respect this previous support, if it does hold as resistance just now for us to continue down. Again, we've got a clean chart to left below to low. That was the weekend, ladies and gents. For the monthly on gold, assuming it's a very strong candle. Yeah, very strong bullish candle. I think gold has a lot of room to continue up. I mean, technically, fundamentally, very bullish. So the majors are all having a very solid month to the upside. A lot of strength to the majors against the US dollar. EJ looks a spitting image of GJ, look identical. Exact same analysis. EJ pulling back to the support just now. Exact same, except there's a little bit more margin on GJ, low. And GDP come out. So what, a little bit less than previous and forecast. German prelim CPI all day. See financial juice actually gives it time. So it says later on. So that's saying at NY open. That's 7 PM my time, so that's NY open. Welcome, Franco. See you in the chat there. In the VIP chat. Welcome, welcome.
Can you hear me?
Not sure if you're trying to speak, but I can't hear you. I think you're trying to speak.
Can you hear me?
Hello? Can't hear you if you are trying to speak. Sketchmas, good morning to you, mate. Good morning. You can see it's lighting up, so I think you're trying to speak, Franco, but we can't hear you. I love technology, don't you?
Can I hear you, Franco?
Sharif, how are you, mate?
I'm good, mate. How are you?
All good. Bit hot, but better than being freezing cold, I suppose. So, what are you looking at this morning? Anything in particular, or?
Not yet. Just opened up. I'm just having a browse quickly on
Yeah.
GJ and Gold.
Yeah, fair enough.
Can you hear me, Justin?
Yes. Now we can hear you.
Hello, good morning.
How are you?
That's understood. Fine, thank you.
That's good.
How about you?
Good. Good. Yeah. Yeah. All's pretty well, my friend. All's pretty well. So
That's
can't
good.
complain.
So I heard you have a nice weekend.
yeah, expensive one. Expensive one, but look, I don't get to
Children are
spoil.
expensive.
Yeah, I don't get to spoil him often, but I wasn't stupid about it. To be honest, it wasn't much more than what it probably would have cost had I ordered something. 'Cause I knew he wasn't going to eat it. I know him too well. It looked good in the picture and did look good. But to be honest, he ate just a little bit of it. He ended up eating basically just the French fries, and I ate pretty much all the meat. So it was a
In
fair deal.
Germany, we have some kind of, I don't know, that we say things, and children often are eating also your hair. So, but for you, it doesn't matter at the end.
Yep. Well, that's it. So I had to pretty much just eat his meal, which was smart move by me, not to worry anything. But Carlisle is good. Took him to place big indoor play center, and yeah, just enjoying some time.
So the time which you were there with your son is coming to the end.
Yeah, very soon, unfortunately. So be a more permanent thing soon enough, though. So always that's the beauty of technology these days. You can obviously every day see each other on the phone. It's not quite the same because kids don't have the attention span to want to sit, nor do I, to be honest. I don't want to sit on the phone for an hour. usually lasts about 2 minutes. How's the day?
Yeah,
What you eat
for
today?
sure.
How's school? And that's about it.
And when will you plan to go again?
Not sure. Maybe next April when he's got
Okay.
longer holidays, summer holidays for him. So yeah, we'll wait and see though. How about your weekend?
My weekend was good. So we celebrate the birthday of the daughters of my sister.
Okay. Yeah, Ines.
Denise, yeah, okay. And we had the whole family here, and we spent a nice Sunday together,
Nice one.
eating, laughing, and so on. So yeah, it was fine.
Good to hear.
And yeah, so yeah, it's nice to spend the time with the family.
Yeah, when you
I'm a
can.
family guy.
So you sent some GU analysis into the group? Oh, it's
Yeah, I recently sent it. Yeah,
so a quick look at it.
it's a little bit difficult. GU.
Yeah, it is. 30-minute is bullish, so I agree with waiting for price to come back down to support, and I agree with the sells from resistance. Obviously, just trading range at the moment.
Correct.
Looks very similar to gold. Looks very similar. It's just a slow trickle up, but there's just no momentum behind anything at the moment with the majors or gold for that matter.
Correct. So for me, the why I didn't mark a sell below this H4
Yeah, yeah,
in this area, correct? Because on the left side you see there was some wicks leaving.
yeah. All these.
Yeah, correct. And for me, that's not a good area to take sells.
Yeah, I agree.
But it's very tough.
It is. It's one of those ones where probably just really need to see it create an actual clean move to cut through the mess. So you may be willing to miss the impulse to the upside. I mean, you could probably have that level in. You would definitely need a strong closure above if you were to consider anything for a buy within the current level. Otherwise, you know, if it makes a strong move up, then you've got potential rejection. You're just going to look for a rejection of the resistance. You know, have it really marked in anyway. And same for the downside. Strong move down, cut through the mess. Form a support, look for your catalyst. So in this case, someone basically saying, and what you'd know anyway, is you don't really want to be first to the race in this case, in case you get faked out.
The issue which I have with in this case, because we're in the middle of the range at the end.
Yeah, that's the other thing, right in the middle of it.
I didn't like it to take some sells or buys in this area, waiting maybe to go up and look how the prices envelopes and maybe also coming down, and then taking maybe a buy from down and sell some up. So this is my plan.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's a good idea. Just need to wait it out for the time being. Also, last day of the month as well, so strong monthly candle.
And also, my broker or here on Rwanda didn't open with a lower wick, so
yeah,
the daily.
Yeah, it doesn't really have a low wick.
Yeah.
Yeah, not easy at the moment.
So, but you managed good your trade at the end.
Yeah,
so,
yes or no. I did go on a fair bit of drawdown, but it's the fact that knowing the volume is there, and you're gonna have that where it will quickly go into profit where you normally be able to secure. Quickly go into some deep drawdown as well. That's the thing. So few things, knowing that there is a lot of volume, you lessen the lot size. It's also a Monday, so I would automatically just go trade for small lot size. Knowing you're gonna have a wider stop loss, maybe go for a bit of a wider target in that situation. But I wasn't prepared to lose once being stuck in a fair bit of drawdown. It quickly popped into about 7.5 pip profit or something. Rather just take the break even, and it was the right decision in the end because it would have taken me out.
Yeah, absolutely, and I think taking the upper wick as stop loss was very good for this was 21 or something else.
Yeah, I think so, because the momentum.
Yeah, I think it was not really for me it was a good trade at the end, close below the support, taking then the sell and then managing the risk. So
Yeah.
was perfect.
It would have been a little bit better if they had closed a little weaker, to be honest. But well, with the volume, if it broke, it was likely going to make it pretty enough to get to TP1 anyway, which...
And you know, sometimes GJ is pushing very hard, and maybe you can gain it.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. There is a lot of volume in these candles. Let's see how it reacts to the level it's currently at.
Yeah, maybe if it's again making a resistance in this area.
Yeah.
Because I'm on Friday, so this hard push to the downsides because of the news.
Yeah.
So for me, is some indication maybe that there is some strength back to the yen.
Yeah, potentially. Potentially, yeah.
The price is down.
Yeah, at this stage, bias is to downside, so I prefer to be looking for the sell options. Mr. Phil, good day to you. Can't join us. All good, mate. All good. Hopefully we'll be on stream tomorrow. All good, mate. Not a problem. More likes than viewers at the moment. Guys, hit the like button. Be much appreciated if you haven't. Just keep an eye on GJ. I've just got to jump out for a sec. I maybe wet my face. It's bloody hot in this room. So just one sec, guys. Oh, I swear this is the hottest room in this place. Sammy and GJ sell from 0.47. Okay, nice one. Assuming somewhere around here, or in limit order, are you look to sell, or you've been in since early? It's a bit risky at the moment, but yeah, hopefully it does the job for you. Doc, good morning to you. Hope all is well. So we're coming close to London Open, guys. Look at the hourly. So hourly looks like it could be trying to close back above support. So I mean, based off that, there is a good chance it would now maybe make a dip pullback. The issue is against the bias, against the structure, it's that weekly candle, it's against counter probabilities on a higher time frame, against many things in my opinion. It's not enough for me to take a buy just yet. Like I mentioned, I need some sort of catalyst, and at this rate won't have that until we close above this 191, 180. At that point you're going to flip the 30-minute structure bullish. Otherwise I just prefer to let it pull back, form a resistance, look for the sells, and potential for continuation sells below the low. Now we have made a bit of a pullback, we do reject this zone, and let's come back down to the low. There could be options there. Gold is just, I've seen this, just one sec guys. Apologies guys. What was I saying about gold? I don't know what I was saying, but anyway, there's no clear direction on it, to be honest. Yeah, that's it. Intuition, experience and intuition. It's just telling me it's not ready. When it's trickling up like this, I don't trust it. I'd rather let it create that. Like I mentioned, Frank and I were discussing about GU. Probably best just to let it create a move up through what is the mess, show that it's got momentum. Even if it does make the move to the upside, you're not involved, let it make that initial move, know the volume's back in, then you can start trusting and looking for entries. So that's what I prefer to do with gold right now. I just don't think it's giving me enough to do anything. Gbpcad's a mess. Very nice compliment, but that's aimed towards me, thank you. But never claim to be some guru or genius trader or anything. I just confident, comfortable, and competent in what I do. That's pretty much it. All by following the exact same shit over and over again. I actually call myself the boring trader, but it works. I'd rather be the boring, consistent, profitable trader than, you know, someone who's thrill seeking, in and out trades through 5 minutes, giving themselves a heart attack. It's just me. So we've got London open with no lower wick. Not interested in buying it, selling it based off that, sorry, because we still pop back above that support. It'd be very risky. It would be a massive risk to sell it. As far as buys, it's got no low wick. Against the structure, it's against the counter probabilities and higher time frames. In my opinion, I'd rather not get involved in that. Gold, like I said, just needs to move. GBCAD as well, just needs to create a move. GU, same shit. As always, guys, feel free to ask questions and some ask if you wish to do so. If anyone has analysis, anyone in trade, let me know. So approaching another level that we could potentially reject, so I could mark that in. Sells below that level is also an option. And I'll soon remove this zone. If we do in fact close back above it, then we're just trading at that point there between this range, this support, and that resistance. I'd remove that, but I'm just going to wait for this count to close because we still could reject and end up below it. Brick, boring trader, working trader. Yeah, just discipline. The discipline trader. That's probably what I should have called myself. But again, that's a pretty boring name to call yourself, isn't it? People want to be stuff that's boring. But it's the reality of trading. You really need it. It's massive. Discipline is key. Again, I saw another thing over the weekend. I don't know, I think it was an IG reel about most people just they're trading against themselves most of the time. They find it very hard to control emotions and discipline, and I'll react in between at something that wasn't within their plan and get wrecked, and then try to get back in, get wrecked again. Beats Fortune, good day to you. GCAD, yeah, I've already looked at GCAD. It's moving just now. All right, so it could be buys, but no way I'd be taking the impulse entry. Not a chance. Coming from way too far back. It's coming from just a break above about 15 pips. On GCAD's probably a little bit too much. Plus it's below the resistance, so not interested in the impulse entry. I don't trade it like that. I've got rules for impulse entries and that did not tick the box, so I'd rather not get involved in that. Just again, boring trader, but it's what works. This could still by all means just be grabbing liquidity for it to close back below. Now if this closed well within that zone on the pre-London candle, if this candle here closed for instance like so, that's a bit of a catalyst to look for the impulse entry. Closed above the bodies of the candles to the left, closed right near the high. Now I'm waiting for a lower wick to form where it pops up first and then creates the lower wick. Not a problem either way. Waiting for a lower wick to form, preferably tapping into the low of that zone by stopping the high. And that would have given 10. But right now it still could pull back below and you'll be in, if that's the case, you'll be stuck in some drawdown, maybe closing the trade early. So that's my catalyst for an impulse entry. Did not have near that, so I'm not stressed about missing it. Yeah, one yen, CAD yen, isn't it? Exact same as JJ in that. It's yeah, very similar. It's just got a bit of support below low, so it sells on a pullback or continuation. That's the option. Drift, GJ look perfect for sells, pull back up. Yeah, did pull back up. A little bit difficult to sell it just now though. So what I could be now looking for is just thinking ahead. It may not eventuate, but if this 15-minute candle close like so, and then we have on the following M15 maybe a catalyst present such as that, we're gonna have a 30-minute closing back bearish, somewhat like so. But there's a good chance at that point, high probability, we're going to come back down to retest the current daily candle low. That's something we could look to execute upon. But again, there's a lot of water going to the bridge. There's still 19 minutes remaining in this candle. It's 30-minute. Who's in trades right now? Still the first 15 minutes of London Open. I'm assuming some of you are. This is fine on GJ. This is all good. Still just going to be looking for the same thing, just higher up. Looking for some rejection. Gold, still just nothing. GBCAD, there you go. Hence why no way would I just set a breakout, set a buy stop above. Look at it reject just now. EU likewise. EU, same shit. Everything's just consolidating when it comes to the majors. GJ is the only one actually moving with a bit of direction, bit of volume. Right now it's just moving opposite direction to where I want to get involved in a potential trade. Just need to wait. Once again, it's that magic word, patience.
Justin,
Yeah, man.
I have taken a look on gold right now. So you mentioned that there's not really something to look on. But if we close here on the M50 candle, it
Yeah.
looks pretty good.
Doesn't look too bad, no, but it's just, I mentioned, yes, there is a very good chance it can make the move, but it's just trickling up. There's no momentum to any move right now on gold. I look at thinking, well, why didn't it make the move here? Why didn't it make the move here? Why didn't it make the move here? Yeah, there's a bit more volume just now, but should have had enough volume, I believe, just there to make a move. I'm just not trusting it.
Okay.
Intuition is telling me to let it create that move. Yeah.
Sorry.
No, all good, all good.
Yeah. So you see that structure bearish.
That's the other thing. It's actually bearish on the 30-minute right now, and the 4-hour for that matter. So just not feeling gold at the moment. Rather let it create a move and show me the volumes there, and maybe look to pick up pieces where it'd be a buy from support or look to sell to resistance. It's just respecting, I mean, even if you thought I ever do this, but, and yeah, it's subjective. Probably you're going to say, oh, it's not how you do it. Probably not. I don't know. I don't use them. It's just slowly trickling up. Every time it looks like it could be ready. Next candle prints bearish. So how do I trust it? Because what it could eventually do is break through that, make it break through that trend line, retest it, and melt in with the volume, the actual structure on the 30-minute and the 4-hour time frame. I just don't trust it for just yet for a buy. I do believe it's overall still in a big uptrend. Obviously, it's not just because the 30 minutes flip bearish that I believe we're going to make a massive sell-off. DJ looks like we could make a bit of a move just now, but again, all good. I want to see now 30-minute confirmation. It looks like we're waiting on GJ again. Neutral sells. big candle at the moment. Almost 40 pips wide. One second. GJ's making the move, so would have had some trust in the 15. Oh, is what is. Need to wait. Next possible options, but likely going to be below low. Going on YouTube? Anyone in a trade? What's the deal? Assuming 30 of you on the stream are probably in a trade right now because everyone's silent. Very, very quiet out there. Not for you, Franco? Yeah. Nothing for me as well. 15-minute GJ is probably the only option. Left still watching. Appreciate it. We'll be ready just now. Gold looks like it looks a little bit better. But I'd still be waiting for closures, to be honest.
So GU cleared everything to the upside, only to come down.
Yeah. Same as GCAD.
So, yeah, pushing down.
Yeah.
Now. Unfortunately, on gold. So if it would close on the M50 a little bit stronger.
Yeah, and for me, that's the thing. It needs to prove something.
Yeah. So if it would have closed a little bit stronger on the M50, with that push down, and then on the upside again. So I would have taken a trade.
Yeah.
But okay, it is not, and
No, that's it. I would have considered it for two close well
Correct,
above
yeah.
bodies. Like right.
Correct. A little
Hopefully
bit higher.
above the highest point in the daily.
Yeah.
Not the daily, sorry, daily is the highest point of this current pullback, I mean. Just not convincing at the moment. $30 looks a bit better.
Yeah, but on the 30, it should close then strong, not leaving
Much
long
enough
upper
work.
wick. Yeah, and then maybe push down and then up. So then maybe.
Yep, great. It definitely needs to close engulfing and right up near its high. This is to be the highest point. Yeah, I'm figuring out the GJ just needs to wait for the lows at this rate. There's no margin into the lows. Keep a bit of an eye on gold. See if it closes above that point. If it does, it's significantly enough engulfed. May consider a limit order, gives you a better stop loss. Even the continuation, I want it to close strong, not just engulfing, like right up near its high, and that may give me the confidence that new candle for Coast lower week needs to break. Would eventually make a move, but at the moment it's just still not really showing me enough. needs to pop up in the next 30 seconds. DJ, I can understand if anyone wants to take an early sell, you need an upper wick, but bear in mind you've got like 10 pips, not even, got about 8 pips to support on the 15. So if you're contemplating an early entry and it's especially going to break, just manage it once it taps in. That's what I would recommend. So gold's not valid. Not convinced. Staying away from it. Completely staying away from it. BJ have closed below. It's a new 30. Again, if you want to take it early option, I would definitely manage it. It taps into the support. No, it's a really good closure on the M30. You'd be looking at entry just below the low of that candle, which on IC markets is
That's a massive stop loss.
Yeah, that's the other issue, and even the way his current candle is pulling back, stop loss based off that will be high 64. What's the low of that previous candle? The entry will be around 189.90 flat. And you're currently looking at a stop loss based off the entry candle around 16, 17 pips.
The issue, it's going up without a lower wick, which makes it also difficult for me, my understanding.
Yeah, it's got a tiny one, but and the safer options get involved as it breaks the previous candle's low. The other option is as it flips. I think it's just best to patiently wait for it to break the low, and then you don't even have near a 1-to-1. It's the early option like I mentioned, but you just need to manage it. So I honestly feel the best option at this stage is to wait for it to break its own low again. Especially if this continues to pull back, because now you stop loss. Again, I'm not happy with that. Based off the entry candle, your stop loss is already over 20 pips, so I'm not going to take it. I'm not going to wait. I'm not going to take it, sorry. I'm just going to wait. Look at that rejection. GCAD right back at the support edge of session low, back in consolidation. GU exact same. Yeah, so I'm just chilling. Stop loss will be now about 24, 25 pips. Definitely not happy with that based off the entry. With no chance.
Yeah, could only come back to create a lower wick and then go again up. Or...
Yeah, potentially. Or could now just be creating a bit of a higher low, and we pop back and close back above that support, and that could just be a little bit of a pause in price action. The issue is you got that wick and it's against the structure and the buy, so yeah, so just happy to stay out at the moment.
Yeah, markets are a little bit slow. Oh, so gold.
Yeah, not the pound pairs. The pound pairs got heaps of volume, just not easy to get involved. Gold is, yes, gold is extremely slow at the moment. Extremely slow on gold.
Was you looking through EU?
Here?
Yeah,
Yep.
Okay. Yeah.
You want me to do analysis, or are you gonna mention something?
No, I mean, no. I have only the M30 chart here, and maybe if we close below 150.50, so there is the support, correct? Maybe below that area there could be some sells,
Yep.
because maybe then the structure flips again, bearish, I think.
Yeah, it's a tough one.
Yeah.
'Cause
Yeah.
I would say I'd almost consider it bearish now. I'd say that's a swing. That's the high. It's close below it. These are just lower highs. Lean to the left. Looking at 15. Might want to drag that down a little bit. Yeah, I definitely think the sell's below. Yeah, the sells look good. The buys above also look pretty good.
Correct, yeah.
I'm assuming it's in an uptrend otherwise. Weekly bullish, daily bullish. Yeah, it's definitely, the bias is still bullish, so I would still consider buying it even against the 30-minute structure. Yeah, so buys above look good.
I will mark my charts up. Maybe there is something to take trades.
Keep an eye on it. Look at JJ now. Off one today. Pretty happy to be at break even for today, to be honest.
Yeah, as I mentioned, so it was well managed, Justin. So
Yeah, definitely.
and also, if I look on gold, so gold didn't know where to go.
At the moment, has no idea. Absolutely no idea at all. So let's have a look at the news throughout the week. Some high impact German news again tomorrow. No, it's today. So you got the Fed speaking again later. Okay, so that's maybe why gold is not really doing that much. Viewing anticipation of what's to come tomorrow. Euro CPI, more high impact US dollar news as to be expected. Also, obviously, it's the first month of the first week of the new month. Sorry, so NFP. So you got ADP and NFP to come on Friday. So it's a big one for news. ISM, unemployment, and NFP. So maybe it's just in a little bit of a liquidity gathering stage on gold right now. I think it's a little bit more to interest rates and CPI and inflation, all that stuff, than on gold. I mean, in regards to there's a little bit more to it than just that. So obviously there's all the geopolitical things going on around the world, the threats of constant war and everything. I know a lot of countries are buying up gold, filling their vaults with gold, and that could also be a little bit to do with what's happening with the BRICS. Those of you unaware, that's well, they're breaking away from the US dollar basically is what they are planning, and starting their own currency backed by, I think it's 40% or 50% backed by gold. So a lot of the countries are filling their vaults with gold at the moment. So my opinion, gold is just going to continue to rise. It will have pullbacks, obviously. Nothing just goes forever in one direction without gathering liquidity. But if I was a betting man, I'd definitely have my money on gold to continue up. But again, it doesn't mean I just buy it. I'm a trader, not an investor. Well, I am an investor in gold, but not like that. Not trading wise, not paper wise anyway. So, is it priced in? I don't know if it's all that relevant. Yeah, it is relevant, but I think there's a lot more to it than just what's going on with the US news, CPI and all that. Talk of another 50 basis point cut on gold. Not on gold, US dollar and interest rates. If that's the case, then wow. The dangerous thing with GJ at the moment is most entries are going to require a stop loss based off the entry count or with the opposite direction. So what that means is it's a lot more difficult to manage your trade. Usually you see me manage it based off 15-minute candles if my stop loss is above a 30, or for instance if I'm looking for a sell. If it's based off the 15-minute time frame, my stop loss, then I'm managing it based off the entry count if it's flipping back in the opposite direction, or so on and so forth. When it's based on the entry count itself, a lot more difficult, to be honest. You pretty much just got to accept if it does pull back and go against you, maybe if you're not comfortable, you just start cutting some partials, because technically, other than it flipping back, let's just say in order for it to trigger you in, it's got to travel 6-7 pips or whatever just to trigger you in, and if it flips back bullish, then maybe you can cut half. It's one of the only ways you can go about it. Maybe you can use the open of the catalyst candle, broke that, you can start cutting partials. It's a lot more difficult. That's the only issue, and the reality is these candles have a lot of volume, so it doesn't make it very easy whatsoever to manage any trade if you do get involved right now when you do have this sort of volume. It is enticing because you know it can make some quick moves, but it's important to manage your trades. I stress it. You guys see it. I keep trying to keep my losses as small as I can. Much easier to recoup the loss on your next trade. Just our roll. So see what happens to GJ. Not writing it off just yet, but fair way away from a trade on GJ. Gold is just a mess. Gbpcad. GJ still looks the best. So nonetheless, still been, and I'm happy with so far proceedings on break-even trade. See what happens. Also pay attention to the level we're bouncing off, 190. Psychological round number.
Are you all packed up then for the week?
What's up? Nah, I
back?
haven't done a thing, to be
Yeah.
honest. No, it take me 5 minutes anyway, so I don't have much here, to be honest. I keep a lot of stuff in the other place as well, so.
Yeah, I was gonna say you probably have a separate wardrobe here, don't you?
Pretty much, yeah. Yeah, so just yeah, not much to do really.
Starting saying all your goodbyes to everyone then.
For this particular area,
Yeah.
a few. I went and said g'day to a few people on Saturday, but they were really busy, to be honest. So I was only out for like an hour on Saturday evening, an hour and a half or something, not long at all. But a lot of it's changed here. A lot of the people I used to know have moved on to different places, so it's fair enough. Not the biggest town in the world, but it's not the most exciting, but it's good. Otherwise, it's not a bad place to be. Here we go. Like I mentioned before. Did I mention it before? Yes, that could happen. A very, very slow trickle up. I often see it met by something like this. Doesn't mean I just sell it, because I'd be selling it into support. It's not the way I trade. Still in a technically bearish structure on the 30-minute time frame and the 4-hour. So hot is right now. It's the thing where we are, unless it's going to rain, you don't get any wind. It heats up really quick in these rooms. No point opening a window because it's just warm air.
So EU is coming up a little bit.
EU?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, EU actually looks not bad if it closes above. Actually looks better than GU for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, EU looks pretty good. Needs close, preferably above.
Yeah, and not too much.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, something is going on right now.
Could be.
Because the dollar, gold is coming down.
Yeah, so there you go, gold finally making a bit of a move. GJ closing in on resistance. I'm not interested in buying it above it. Against the structure, it's against bias, against counter probabilities and a higher time frame. And the fact of the matter is, it buying it into resistance as well, so I'd rather not. Just rather wait and see how it reacts to it. Gold at least is coming through this. Could be potential buys from lower down moving forward.
Is there not a chance on the M50 time frame? If it goes below that, on the M50, maybe to
Gold?
take sell? Yeah.
Not for me. No,
Okay.
not at all. It's way too big a stop loss based on 15.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, too much.
It's got no upper wick on a 30, nor the hourly, but oh, actually the hourly has. No, well the 30 anyway hasn't, the hourly has. I just look at it like, why am I getting in this late? And if I should have been in a trade, it would have been here, but didn't trust it to sell it there. So yeah, definitely not, especially...
Yeah. Without the lower wick, upper wick there,
Yeah.
it's difficult to take sells in this area.
That's what it needs to close below. Well, let's watch it anyway. About you guys, YouTube, what are you guys looking at? Anything in particular for the next candle, next hourly, next M30? For me, EU looks the best. the VIP guys, it's educational day today, and that normally leads into a bit of pre-MY as well. Yeah, we'll see what we get up to today. So obviously we got the questions sorted. Thank you to Sharif. Have to look at it again, to be honest. I haven't looked at it since Friday, but all good. DJ potentially breaking. Alright, gold and yearly. Very strong closure. See how the new candle opens. May consider something if the new candle pops down first, then pops back up to create an upper wick and breaks so low again. The issue is stop loss, so again, risky has to be the entry candle. Very tough to manage it based on that. You starting to look better? Is this GCAD? GCAD looks better. Be a massive stop loss though for GCAD. Wow. About 35 pips. Right. Fantastic, but more credit to you if you called it as you were taking it. That's what I give everyone more credit. Well done. I want everyone to be profitable, but at the same time, if you just jump you on, because surely you're taking losses too, but who mentions those? Not often. You won't often have someone in the chat stick their hand up, so I just took a loss, 20-30 pip loss on gold or whatever. Wow, what's going on here? So there's a lot of volume right now. Let's see how it's gonna have a wick. I used the floor wicks. Alright, so it's broken a low, not below the support, it's broken below the previous candle. Now, where do I want it to pull back to? Minimum, I want it to retest that the range above minimum. Minimum. And then just using the momentum, using the volume right now to the downside. We do reject. We do tap into that level and reject. I'm going to look for maybe a sell stop. GBCAD doesn't really have an upper wick. GU similar. EU didn't actually close above. It does look okay if it pulls back to create a low wick and breaks zone high again. Round. Now I took a loss, small sell when I entered a little early on a 5 minute, then I re-entered. Usually I take one loss a week. At 2 minor. Try to manage as much as I can. Fair enough. KC, g'day to you, mate. KC Vana. Let me see on gold. Alright, so it's looking pretty good for maybe a potential sell option. Okay, so trade NY, but love starting my morning with a cup of coffee on stream. Motivation for the day. Nice one. Appreciate it, mate. Alright, so it's tapped into the level I wanted to tap into. Stop loss would be looking at entry around 26,550. Stop loss would be about 20 pips right now. About 21 pips roughly. Where's that? Oh, the horizontal's in the wrong spot, don't I? So just above that support, to be honest, but I'm taking anticipation break zone low again. There's a good chance it will break through that support. There's a good chance it will head down. Also a good chance, or there is a chance that it might not work. So there you go. You have to be prepared for all. And again, difficult one to manage. So small lot size for me. I'm going ultra small. Really, nothing major at all. Forex strategies. GJ looks good for a sell. Not sure what makes you think that at the moment. Very strong closure on the previous M30. Yeah, for me, I don't have a confirmation to sell it just yet. KC, what time frame? Currently to 30, but use the 15 a bit as well, and especially to add confluence, and even a 5 minute to add confluence to a trade.
Sound right, boys.
Once again, if this pulls back too far, I'm just not going to bother. I don't want to roll with a big stop loss on the entry candle. It's not worth it. Very hard to manage. Especially in this case. Because like I mentioned, one of the options would be, like I mentioned before, is if it flipped back, you could cut it. In this case, it's only got to travel like 2 pips or 3 pips to enter the trade after it flips bullish, bearish, sorry. So then you're going to cut it at -3. It doesn't really make much sense. So it's not easy to manage it. So if it does pull back further, then I'm just likely going to wait. Now you're looking at 22, 23 pip based off the entry. Yeah, forget it. I'll remove it. I'm waiting.
It sound right, boy.
Yeah, you need to be comfortable in the trade, guys. I will not be comfortable with that type of stop loss in the entry candle. So I just wait. You can pull back.
Yeah, EU was not an option for me.
EU?
Yeah, I didn't close as I wanted.
Yeah.
And then it pushed hard up. Came a little bit down, it pushed again up, but it never
Right, that way.
down.
It sound
Yeah,
right,
so
boy.
Yeah. Tough one.
unfortunately. A weak bullish candle on gold in the M50, Justin.
Yeah, potentially. Yeah, so we get gold. That's just way too big a candle.
I entered gold buy
Into gold buy.
into a gold buy, yeah, and I just closed at 10 pips.
Very interesting. Very interesting to see what your confirmation or hear what your confirmation was.
Yeah, I based it on the 5 minutes, and we were looking for sells, and when that candle that didn't close below, what candle was that one? The 8:55 candle on the 5 minutes, that lowest one. It didn't close below the previous one for me,
Yeah.
then the 9 o'clock candle closed bullish. And then, still looking on the 5-minute chart, I looked all the way to the left, and I saw that it's bouncing off that area. Just that first candle in your zone there on the left.
Yep.
Yeah, so I thought, okay, we can possibly go back up to those highs at 2655439. So then I entered it on the 10 past 9 candle. Sorry, not 10 past, 9 o'clock, 9:05 candle.
Yeah.
This bullish one. Yeah, entered on that one and got 10%.
Well, got the win, so risky, but
Yeah, it was risky, but it's small. I took a small position.
yeah. As long as you don't make it like a habit, you can get away with it once and then alright, and then get wrecked. And, you know what I mean? Like that's all I'd have to say. Just be careful, because unless you're gonna start trading it and you've tested it properly, and that's a different story. But if you maybe because you just sat there and you think, oh, the 5 minute looks alright, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
so I'm happy that you took the win, of course, but yeah, just be careful of that. Don't start to fall into a rabbit hole. And it's all of a sudden going to start trading the 5 minute, because I, again, did it a few years back, got destroyed after, thought I was in a bit. This is about 4 years ago on gold. Purely trading off the 5 minute. Did well for like a month and then got destroyed and didn't touch it for a year. So put me off it completely. But yeah, so that's it. All right, guys, I have to get going. I've got a bit to do, and I can't really do it while I'm on stream. It's a bit of a pain. KCD managed on a high time frame. Filter noise. I'll look at the higher time frame for direction that as well, but it's not managed on the higher time frame. No way, because that mean way too big stop loss in that and TP. I'm a scalper, mate, so I look at small hit returns basically, and small losses too. But yeah, so I'm gonna wrap it up, guys. GJ, be looking for resistance, mean it could project higher up. That level is still valid, so if I just might have some price action to sell it, to be honest. From this resistance, still not interested in buying it at the moment. Structural flip bullish at that point. That's your first catalyst, but needs to cut through that mess, pull back, and then maybe look for the buy options. Sells below low on continuation, makes sense. Gold, potentially buys from this point here. Not gonna wait around for this candle. I've got a bit to do. But this candle closed strong bullish, followed by a weak bearish candle closing M30 bullish at this support. Potentially that's a buy option. Otherwise, pull back for a sell. Rick, nice one. All right, guys, I gotta get moving. Members, I'll see you guys in a few hours, maybe 2.5 hours or so from now. Everyone else, if you could like button the way out, take care, trade safe, and I'll catch you guys tomorrow. Cheers, guys. Take care. Bye.
Bye.
See you guys.